Hi everyone, and welcome to this month's edition of Superintendent's Corner. This is Chris Dormer, proud to be the Superintendent of Schools here in the Norristown Area School District. We're going to start this month's segment with district news for March 2022. At our March board meeting, we approved several important recommendations that are going to get us ready for the rest of this year and next year. The board approved the budget for both our summer level up programs and our extended school year programs for the coming summer of 2022. This is a $1 million investment in learning opportunities for our students, grades K through 12. Please be sure to look for those opportunities to register and school outreach to sign up for these important programs for the upcoming summer. Also, we are excited the board approved a new copier contract that's going to bring hub printing to each school. This is going to increase efficiency of all teachers who are going to have higher volume, higher quantity, higher quality printing available to them at a cost savings per page to the district. We're excited to bring hub printing to all 12 of our schools this fall. As we continue to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic, the board approved an updated health and safety plan. This updated plan will allow us to pivot as more and more restrictions are lifted and recommendations change as we hopefully continue to move out of the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are hopeful that things such as student spacing and some other disinfection policies are going to alleviate in the coming months, and our updated plan will allow us to move and pivot as those recommendations change. We're also excited for the approval of Swipe K-12. That is a new online program that is going to allow for electronic attendance taking at the main campus and Roosevelt campus of our high school. Swipe K-12 we're hoping will be operational come this fall, and again should allow for greater efficiency at both of our high school campuses. We have some important upcoming district dates for the rest of this year. Parent-teacher conferences will occur in the afternoons of April 7th and April 8th. Students will have early dismissals both Thursday and Friday of that week, so teachers are available to meet with parents in the afternoons both days. It is also nice that Friday, April 8th is an early dismissal day because that's our last day before spring break. All district schools and offices will be closed April 11th through 14th for a much needed break for staff and students. We look forward to everybody coming back Monday, April 18th refreshed because guess what, folks? We come right back into state testing season. The end of April into early May, we'll go right into PSSA testing, AP exams, Keystone exams here at the high school. It's going to be a fast and furious rest of the school year as we finish the fourth quarter and we stay on target for our last student day, which will be here before we know it on June 9th. Finally, I'm very pleased to announce that this week we'll be releasing district surveys to all stakeholder groups. We'll be asking our students, staff, parents, community members to complete a survey on their perception of many different parts of our district operation, from academics, school climate, equity, and overall satisfaction of our educational program. Please look for phone calls and emails to get those links to complete the survey in the very near future. And we ask everyone to please take the time to complete those surveys to give us some much needed information to use for our planning as we head into next school year and for the years to come. Finally, last bit of district news, rapidly preparing the 2022-23 budget for next school year. We're proud that we will have a proposed final budget ready for the board's consideration in April, and we plan to have final adoption of budget in May, and we are on track to meet all three of our budget goals. First, to have a 0% tax increase for our community. Second, that we will not use any of our savings or fund balance to balance our budget. And third, we are going to increase staffing levels next year for the first time in many years. Our proposed budget has an increase of 18 staff positions for next year. We're proud of our hard work that we are able to invest in our students and our programs in such way. And we ask our community to please make sure when the proposed budget comes out, please take time to review it and celebrate that we're able to hold our taxes, but are also able to increase our programs and invest in our kids into next school year. That's the district news for March. I'm very pleased to introduce our interview segment as we celebrate Women's History Month, that we're going to interview three of our outstanding women leaders here in the Norristown Area School Districts. So we're going to get to the interview right now. In March here in the Norristown Area School District, we celebrate Women's History Month. as a way that we celebrate the humanity here in Norristown, but also to support our diversity, inclusion, race, equity, and belonging initiatives. I'm very proud to have 3 outstanding women leaders of the school district with me today. So I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Tanya Festa-Piedra, our Director of Human Resources, Ms. Erin Grodnitzky, our Supervisor of Special Education for Elementary Schools, and Dr. Carla Queenan, the Principal of the Roosevelt Campus of the Norristown Area High School. Welcome, ladies. How are you today?
Good.
Doing well, thank you.
Thank you for joining me today. So if we could start to just let everyone in the Norristown Area School District know just a little bit about yourselves. Tell us about you, your role in the district, how long you've been with the district, how long you've been in public education, and why do you do what you do, and why Norristown? So Tanya, let's start with you.
Okay, well first off, thank you for having me today. So I've been in public education for about 6 years now. I started in Norristown 3.5 years ago. I first started as the Assistant Director of HR, and I'm actually hitting a year as the Director of HR this upcoming week, so I can't believe it's flown by so quickly. I do what I do. I always make the joke that I don't think I could teach. I actually power to all the teachers out there that they have the patience, but I always wanted to give back and help and have a meaningful job. So I love being able to be the HR director and interview and bring people on board that want to be here. And Norristown has a soft place in my heart. My family is Costa Rican, so being in this community and being able to communicate with a lot of our families really just is amazing for me, and I love it.
Thanks. It's great having a Latina female on our staff that is fluent in Spanish and can connect with our community members, and also be a positive role model when we're looking to attract diverse staff to come work in the district. So
sure.
we're so thrilled and lucky to have you, Tanya. Thanks.
Thank you.
Erin.
So also thank you for having me today. Not only have I been in public education for 15 years, but I've been in the Norristown Area School District for 15 years, this being my 15th year. I started in the district as a paraprofessional at the ripe age of I had just turned 22. Moved into the teacher role, then into the program support specialist role, and this will be my 2nd year as the elementary special education supervisor. As a teacher, I loved what I did. I did it because I really had a passion and interest for working with some of our most complex students. But as a supervisor, I really enjoy working with our teachers, supporting them through professional development, just making sure that they're able to, move forward with teaching our students. I love Norristown. I started here, like I said, when I was very young. I don't see myself anyplace else. And I really am so thankful that the district has offered me all of these opportunities to grow.
Thanks, Erin. And it is, we are so fortunate that we have seen you grow. Like you say, going from a paraprofessional to a teacher all the way up to administration, that we've been able to help you grow and keep you with us as not only an exemplary professional, but as a woman role model here in the school district. So thank you so much. Carla, who has probably the longest life story here in Norristown.
Absolutely. So thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Dormer. I've been here since kindergarten. So I attended Paul Fly in East Norton Middle School, and then am a graduate of the high school. And my why is really the students and this community. This is home, and so this is my 32nd year in the district, and I'm just proud to be able to serve the students and the staff at the Roosevelt campus as the building principal.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you all again for all that you do and just being such positive role models for all of our students, but particularly as women role models as we celebrate Women's History Month. Tanya, question for you. As our Director of Human Resources, you are one of the many positive voices for NESD. You have to be out there selling our district, right? Trying to get people to want to join Norristown. All of you, have so many years with us here in the district, but making them want to come and be a part of our community here. Can you share for us one woman who was a positive voice in your life and how that person inspired you to chase your goals and dreams, much like you have to do to try to get people want to chase their goals and dreams here with us in the Norristown Area School District?
Sure. I think for me it was my grandmother. She played a really, really big role in my life growing up and just as I went into adulthood. My grandmother moved here when my mom was 12, and she came by herself. And the funny story, as I said earlier, my family's from Costa Rica, and she came here in the middle of winter, and she arrived during a snowstorm. So, yes, so she came here, and she sent back for my mom and my aunt, and that's kind of our story of how my mom then ended up in the United States and met my father. But she just really taught us how to work hard and just to make sure that we were always able to provide for ourselves. I do come from a long line of single mothers and very strong, powerful women. And I know it's Women Month, so she would always make that joke, you know, you find love and make sure that you don't need a man to support you kind of joke. But it was true. I mean, she really just wanted to make sure that we worked hard and did more for ourselves and everything that she worked for to kind of give us. So she really just made sure that we learned and grew and worked really hard. So I'd say she was my person. I don't think she expected me to dress up as an eagle and run through the streets, but you know, we do what we have to do.
Listen, but I think that talks about you being a strong person and also being, you know, fully vetted in what you do. You know, to put on that costume, which I give you credit for putting that on, even if I would have put that costume on. But again, just, you know, showing that you're all in here in Norristown. And again, she must have had a huge impact on both you and your mother,
Yes.
who, you know, who was an educator as well.
She
and
still is, yes.
And still is, and
Yes.
got you to come join us in the field of education, which is
Yeah,
great.
and that's where I make that joke where my mom has a lot of patience to be a teacher, and I looked at her when I was growing up and I was like, I don't know if I could do that. And she also had a big role, but I think it really just stems from my grandmother and how she really molded us all to be the women that we are.
No, thanks so much for sharing a little bit of your family with us, as you're part of our family here in Norristown. Erin, as one of our supervisors of special education, you talked about this a little bit. You really have this responsibility to ensure that our children have all the supports they need to be successful in their program. Can you share how some women in your life supported you so that you could, we talked about your journey, 15 years here in Norristown, but whether, you know, who are the women that supported you to help you become the person you are today that you could turn around and help others?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very lucky. I've had a lot of women support me in my life. Just to start with, both of my grandmothers. My one grandmother, she, alongside my grandfather, started their own business in the 1950s, a window treatment business. We are on third generation. My dad took over and my brother works there now, and just, you know, her hard work and her leadership skills through that and working, overseeing employees and overseeing people just was definitely inspirational. My other grandmother, she was my biggest supporter through sports, and I feel like for me, sports is where I realized, wow, like I am a leader, I have these qualities, like how can I move forward in life and use these? And then lastly, you know, certainly not least, my mom has just been an amazing supporter through my entire life, through every single day, through grade school, high school, you know, moving into college, and then, you know, accepting, you know, a job outside of college up until this role. When I first started, I kind of dove headfirst into what it's like to be a servant leader. And I really, truly believe that my mom is just the epitome of a servant leader and really just caring about others and putting others first. So I learned definitely a lot from her. And then I do want to add, there are so many women within the Norristown Area School District that have been such supporters of me. Some of them are teachers that I work with now. So I definitely want to highlight them as well.
Thanks so much. I'm noticing this theme of family, you know, in the women, and I'm so, you know, I don't want to speak for you, Erin, but it seems like you would treat your colleagues, you know, the team that we have here as family as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Carla, we talked about 32 years here in the Norristown Area School District and a proud NASD grad who stayed with us all the way through earning a doctoral degree and now serving as a building principal. Whether you know it or not, you're a role model for our students. Actually, all of you are. But Carla, what do you feel is most important to being a female role model, especially for young girls today?
So I think, and it's a great question, and I think there's so much that you can kind of process when you think about that. So my mom was a wonderful role model and a support for me. And I really think it's that support, and I think just her strength and her resilience and, you know, just her belief in the goodness of people, you know, no matter what, just always looking for the good. And I think character and kindness, kind of exemplifying those characteristics and attributes was important, and I feel like that's something that I take with me, and every day I try to model, you know, what it is to be a good person, and as you mentioned, Erin, you know, being a servant leader, you know, that's what it's about, and it really is about family and the Norristown family, my team, my students, everybody working together for the same goal, you know, to support students. I think that's really what it's about, and I want to model that, to give back and lift others as you climb. to help young women and all students just really realize that, whatever your dream is, go for it. And then surround yourself with people, who are a support, who can be there for you, you can be there for them, and really, allow people to, I think, collaborate and work together as a team. And at the Roosevelt campus, we believe in the village, and it takes a village, we always say, but it really is everybody working together and really supporting one another that I think allows people to succeed.
Thank you for that, Carla.
Absolutely.
I'm just taken aback by all three of you, and just again, just all the success you've had in your professional lives, and just all, the deep connections you have in your personal life. And I'm just so grateful as a superintendent to have all three of you as part of our family here. That you are here, you're all in, and that you want to give back to our students, our community, and have them realize some of the opportunities that you had. And again, Carla, like you said, don't limit your dreams. Which is really a message we want for all of our students. So with that, I just ask you, in closing, if we don't want to hold kids back of their dreams, what's one piece of advice you would give our students here, especially our young girls, as they look to plan to the future? So Tanya, we'll start with you.
I think I always say, don't be the reason you don't succeed, which kind of means I've taken chances in the jobs that I've gone for, and people, had said, I don't know if you're ready, or I don't know if you can do that, and I've just decided, you know what, I want to try. I'm not going to be the reason I don't get it. I have to put myself out there and work hard and really just see where I am, maybe not succeeding, and take a step back and ask for help. I think that's a big thing too. A lot of us are, all three of us, I'm very honored to be sitting here with these two women right now. We are really hard workers and we're strong women, but sometimes you do need to ask for help, and that sometimes can hold you back if you don't do that. So just don't be your own roadblock.
That's great advice. Erin?
Yeah, along the lines of that, step outside your comfort zone. Looking back on it, when I started as a paraprofessional, I never ever thought that I'd be sitting right here in the supervisory role. But and then there were times where I wanted to apply or wanted to do it, and then I held back. And then at some point I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. It's out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to do it. You have to take that leap and be able to learn somehow, or else you're never going to know. So definitely step out of your comfort zone.
Great advice. And last but not least, Carla.
I would say celebrate your successes, even if they're small successes, because that keeps you motivated and keeps you focused. And I would also say it's okay if you sometimes take a detour. Sometimes things don't always work out as you plan, and sometimes it, requires you to kind of, take a detour and you might get off the path or off the track, but you can get back on. And again, when I spoke about the village, reach out to those people. You mentioned, Tanya, just giving other people that opportunity to help and support you really can sometimes make all the difference to get you back on the track and reach your ultimate goal.
Yeah, so, well, thank you all for taking a few minutes and just sharing a little bit of yourselves and your lives and your journey. And thank you for all you do for the staff and students here in Norristown. We are truly, truly blessed and fortunate to have you as part of our team and family here. So thank you all for joining me for Superintendent's Corner.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So again, I think you saw three of the outstanding women leaders that we have as we celebrate Women's History Month here in the Norristown Area School District. Our next segment is going to show the next generation. As we take our show on the road for our video segment, let's see the girls and what they're doing that makes them NASD proud. Wow, I hope you're as impressed as I was with the outstanding accomplishments of our girls across the Norristown Area School District. Well, that brings a wrap to the Superintendent's Corner for this month. Please make sure you continue to follow us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and you're visiting the district website for the latest and greatest news. Until next month, this is Chris Dormer, Superintendent of Schools. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.